consult on Domi's case.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's like a magical aura pendant that you can get. I think John Tavares has one that if you wear it around your neck, it will bring healing to your body.
And we're back.
Yeah, you got a nice hat there, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Where were you guys?
Watching cars go fast.
Zoom,
because,
zoom.
Also, hockey's dumb, and I moved on to race cars and baseballs.
Okay, well, we're gonna double back on the hockey's dumb part in a second, but I gotta ask a burning question.
Okay.
So Jeremy and the crew, and not me because I wasn't invited, were in Montreal last week, which is why we didn't record the pod. They were watching the Canadian Grand Prix. I am not an F1 fan whatsoever. All I know is you sent a picture to me of some very expensive jackets, starting at like $650 up to $900 and something.
Yeah.
So I got to ask, how many did you buy?
Man, the cool thing about credit is it's like free money, you know? It's amazing. You just call the bank and you're like, can I have thousands of dollars in credit? And they're like, yeah, sure. So I called them and they were like, yeah, no problem. So I bought one for me. I bought one for my wife. And so it was $1,200 for two jackets.
Whoa. I would be wearing those all the time if that story's true.
Most expensive store I've ever been in. I'll tell you that much. Yep. You buy merch at the event. I mean, like this hat was like $180. Not this one. I didn't buy it. I've had this one for a year. Lest anyone be confused. But this hat was like $180. And I saw people going around with like tags on them that they had like just bought.
Yeah.
So.
Wow, that's impressive. So you guys went to the Grand Prix in Montreal and two of you didn't come back? Like we're missing a couple of hosts here.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. One of them I haven't heard from. And the other one is gallivanting in Europe somewhere.
Canadian Grand Prix. What's he doing in Europe? Did he miss a flight or something? Like what happened?
Maybe he's gone to watch more Grand Prix. He just didn't tell us.
Well, we might as well just become an F1 podcast at this point.
That's right. That's what I'd rather talk about than some recent playoff developments. So, yeah. So,
well, I've shielded you long enough. How's it going, Jeremy?
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
No worries.
So we were at the Grand Prix for it was games. It was basically most of the conference finals games. Like I think it was games 2 and 3 for both series happened while we were up there. And my beloved Avalanche, as everyone predicted, 4-0 sweep, not by them, but to them, like we all foresaw and everyone predicted.
That broke my bracket, whatever was left of it. It was done at that point.
A few. Yeah, I think it broke a few. Yeah, I have many thoughts. I'll keep them short.
There's two of us. We've been going for 3 minutes. You've got 57 minutes. Go for it, buddy. Don't keep it short. Let's hear it. This is your retrospective on the season that was for the Avs. Go for it.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. So if I may be, before getting technical, I found myself very philosophical after this loss and the way they lost. I think in years past, like last year, I was angry. The way that ended, the way Rantanen came back and had his redemption tour and came back in that game 7, it was so close. I was so angry that they couldn't close it out. I was so angry that like it was Rantanen and then he was traded to the East and he came back to the West. And there was a lot of like, frustration with that. And then this after game one, I know I was watching that first game and I was like, okay, game ones are weird. I always say that, game ones can be strange. But I didn't like the feel of it. I just felt like Vegas had I call it like dad strength. Like when your dad is the only one who can open a bottle because they're just so strong and everyone just knows they can do it. The way they won that game, it was with some dad strength. And I was like, oh man. So the Avs are dealing with some injuries. Makar is far from 100%. I saw a few places. The rumor was it was a separated shoulder he was dealing with.
I think it's more than that.
And I think it's more than that, honestly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think it's got to be more than that. Now the Avalanche are notorious for not releasing injury information after a playoff exit, so we may never know. Elliott thought there was a chance that he might miss the start of the next season. Regardless, he's injured. He got injured some point during the Minnesota series. And MacKinnon in game 3 took a shot off the knee and wasn't playing at 100% either. Now you're probably thinking, oh yeah, here's his excuses, right? There's the excuses to start play. Oh, they got injuries, whatever. Maybe in the past, but this year I thought, okay, well, in the past they've been accused of being the MacKinnon Makar team. It's like they throw that line over the boards all the time. And when you get into the playoffs and go deep, it's not deep enough. You can't just rely on them to do all the work. So those guys go down. And you think, well, we spent a lot of draft picks and a lot of draft capital to have a boast of very deep center depth where you've got guys like Nick Waugh, who you traded a first round pick for, playing on the wing because you've got so much center depth. It would be cool if the center depth did what it was supposed to.
Center depth things. Yeah.
Yeah. and carried you through, especially against Vegas, who, I think we forget about Thomas Hertl a little bit. Maybe hasn't been quite the same since the trade from San Jose, but he's playing on the third line. Had a great series. Yep. William Karlsson came back from injury. I mean, that guy's a dangerous player. Jack Eichel, underrated two-way player. I mean, they just matched his line against MacKinnon's line the whole time. And MacKinnon's line had a pretty terrible expected goal share. They didn't generate a whole lot. And so you say, yeah, okay, maybe you expect that. But then you're like, okay, Brock Nelson, you were a first-line center in New York. You signed here. You chose to be here. I'm assuming you're going to, fill out and win some of those second-line matchups. And he was a ghost. He did basically nothing. I don't know if he's playing through something or not, but it's been going on for such a long time that I don't think it's injury related. I don't know where he was. He wasn't doing much. Kadri would have flashes on the third line. But same thing, not really driving much play, not really creating a ton of high danger. And I think that's what lost the series. And I think when their star players went down, the motivation, this was the 5-alarm fire to me, was the motivation just went out the window. My point, the main point I wanted to make was, Matt, you've mentioned, I know you've mentioned to me before, I'm a systems guy. I like that stuff. I like the tactical stuff. I like checking into that stuff and figuring that stuff out. But what I learned was systems don't matter at all when you're not playing with any motivation or if the will looks like it's beat out of you. It doesn't matter how you play. That stuff matters when both teams are executing at a high level and they're trying to beat each other and they're trying to play a chess match. That stuff matters. But it didn't matter at all this series. It wouldn't even get close to that. It was, a will that disappeared. And I can't really point to a moment. I can't really point to a reason, but it just seemed like all of a sudden they became a shell of their former selves and they rolled over and they had no ability to push through what Vegas was giving them. Now, to talk about Vegas, full credit to them. They looked great. They looked like they were playing. I thought they looked like they were playing the Bruce Cassidy way, but now they were actually like implementing it. John Tortorella was on record as saying he's really hasn't said much to them. He's just motivating them. I mean, what's he going to do? He started like a couple weeks ago.
You can't change everything 8 games in the season, right? Like,
right.
You can't change the whole system.
Yeah. So they're playing that Boston Bruins box out style, keep everything to the outside. And I mean, it's not even like I'd say that it frustrated the Avs, because to be frustrated would mean you have to show some sort of, you would have to be engaged in order to be frustrated. But I didn't even see that. Like, it just felt like the wheels fell off, the heart, soul of the team gone. And that's the type of question. That's the type of questions that I don't know how you find the answer to that. There's going to be a ton of rumors about Jared Bednar. I don't even know if that's the right move. We're recording on May 31st. They still haven't had their end of year
their exit interview stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm assuming there's some decisions going to happen here. My only thought is if David Carl, who we'll get to, if he has it's out there that he wants to stay in Denver.
Yep.
But he's got a pretty cushy gig with the Pioneers. But if there was ever a situation that might lure him away, it might be coaching the NHL team in the same town. So maybe those discussions are going on. I don't know. But we can get into that stuff after. But full credit to Vegas. Vegas was playing with a lot of swagger, a lot of confidence, and the Avs didn't make it too hard on them. They just kind of showed up, did business, and wrapped it up quick.
Yeah, so you alluded to like lots of injury. Well, a couple of notable injuries, and then a disappearance of the bottom six. I know when the Leafs get eliminated every year, I always come out of it with like a armchair coaching or armchair GMing kind of mindset, and it helps me cope for 24 hours or whatever.
Right.
Do you feel that like Bednar could have done something different during the series? Like, I didn't pay too close attention to like any changes he made, any system changes he made. Did he react at all to like MacKinnon not being 100%, to obviously Makar not being around? Or did he just keep trying to force the square peg into the round hole kind of thing against Vegas' systems?
I didn't see much change. I mean, I saw, and what, for the first two games, I think they kind of won the analytics game. I think they outchanced them and all that type of stuff. But it's one of those things where like that might be true, but if you just watch it, you'll see it's kind of a different thing going on.
We'll get into some of that in the Carolina Habs series later as well, recapping about the stories you tell yourself about how close you were, but really you weren't.
Score and how that score arrived at what it was is just two different things. But yeah, I mean he mixed up lines a little bit. Like he put Natchez down with Nelson. I mean, he did a little bit of line juggling, but like I would say, I mean, watching this guy for so long. I mean, he's been in Colorado now since 2016. I've been watching this guy a long time. The motivational part is not his strong suit. The dude is like he's a very sharp hockey mind. The players have said repeatedly that they learn from him. They're happy to learn from him. He tells you honestly. He tells you when you suck. He tells you when you're good. The players all like him. But he's not a John Tortorella. He's not a Paul Maurice. Like he's not one of these like, bang the glass. Even when stuff's going terribly, you won't see him yelling a whole lot. And I wonder if in that time when they really seemed down on themselves, where a message like, well, we just got to get to our game and stick with our system and, stick with the process and eventually it'll come. They might have needed a little more than that.
Well, it seems like some of the more successful, I shouldn't say more successful coaches, but it seems like whenever you hear about a playoff turnaround, it's always somebody went into the room, broke character, and like that's the time you speak harshly.
Yes.
Like, because you grab the attention. Because if you're always a very calm person and you never raise your voice, well, then everything's going to always be the same. But as soon as you raise your voice a little bit one time, it kind of shock and awes, right? Like, so it's interesting. Like, I don't listen to all of Bednar's stuff because it's not the team I follow on a regular basis.
Sure. Yeah.
But behind the bench, he reminds me of someone who's very like prim and proper, dressed to the nines, and like got the hair done right, and
and he's just like
kind of more put together, right? Than someone who's going to go in there and throw a clipboard and throw a water bottle and like rip into the team, right, for a bad performance.
And it's funny because as a player, he had a career as a fighter. Like he fought a bunch. There's a bunch of fights of him on hockeyfights.com. But it's like he grew up in Saskatchewan. And if you listen to him talk, it just sounds like he grew up on a farm where there's no point getting too high. There's no point getting too low. You just kind of, even keel, just stick with it. You know what I mean? And you're right, Matt. Like, it's kind of like, there was no change in demeanor on the bench. Just the same kind of face, same sort of. So I think this goes like in the exit interviews, they're going to ask their core players, their leadership, honestly, like management, which I don't even know who maybe the management's not even going to be there. He might be in Nashville based on stuff.
I was going to say there are outside rumors linking him to Nashville. Yeah,
that's right. But for like, so someone should look at them and say, I think the question should be, do you think that this guy prepared you as best he could for the moment, for the situation, for all those games? Do you feel like he motivated you to be the best player you can be and to do that? Or was it something else? And I think if the answer is no, then maybe it's time for a new voice. And you could go down the list of all of his records, all of his, success and all that stuff. But there's a pretty long track record now, other than 22, of early playoff exits and, not rising. Like they to me, this core has a history, despite winning it all in 22, of, they should have had, a lot of people thought they should have had more Stanley Cups, but it's like, they've been to a lot of big moments and they've been on the wrong side of them, like a lot, So how much is that is the coach in big moments where they really need a push,
I think it was sometime in either game 3 or game 4, maybe early in game 4. They panned across the benches. The game was still tight. And like the Avs bench was, I've seen it year after year. It's a Leafs bench. It's quiet. Everyone's just staring straight ahead. No one's talking to each other. No one's coming off the ice after a shot block and like tapping the other guy being like, yeah, nice block. Like, let's go. And then it pans to the Knights bench and like everyone's chatting, everyone's looking at plays, everyone's engaged in the game. And I had a bad feeling at that point. I was like, okay, we've got a team now. Maybe like, listen, MacKinnon is not the player who's going to do that. He's not the captain that's going to like, rah, let's go, whatever. But the whole team is not MacKinnon's, right? Like some people need that motivation. Some people need that feel at ease to play their best. Yeah. And it seemed like at that point, the bench was just done at that point.
And it's so funny you say that, because I think in the Minnesota series, I thought the shoe was on the other foot. I was like, they were like, everything you just said.
Yep.
The stick taps, the cheering, the block shot, all that stuff. And in the Vegas series, it was just, like you said, just a lot of blank stares. Yep. So
that's when the team doesn't really believe. Like they know they're on the back foot at that point.
Yeah.
And that was only when they were down maybe 2-0. So like you can come back from that, but not a good attitude, right?
Especially after a game where they eliminated the Wild, coming back from a 3-0 deficit to win that. It's like, guys, we just a week ago were cool with this and it was good. But
Yeah.
anyway, questions to answers I will never really know. It's hockey. That's why you can't predict who wins. And it just made me reiterate. I know it's cliche, but like winning the Stanley Cup is so hard.
Yeah.
It's so many, like, I know this is obvious, but like, it just really, like, you know, we sit here and we have these podcasts. We're going to talk about how the teams can be better and what they can do to be better and what player do they need and all that stuff. And you get to the playoffs, and if you can't get your head engaged, it doesn't even matter. Like,
Yeah.
such a mental game.
All right. Before we get back to being armchair GMs, we got to give a quick shout out to a true Atlantic Canadian legend.
That's right, Big 8 Beverages. If you grew up out east, you already know. And if you didn't, buddy, you missed out.
Big 8 is the official drink of minor hockey tournaments, post-game dressing rooms, and sitting in the stands, freezing while your kids forget how to skate.
Yeah, this stuff's been around longer than most rebuilds, and unlike most rebuilds, it actually works.
Big 8 is made right here in Atlantic Canada. Comes in a ridiculous amount of flavors, and somehow tastes even better when you're watching a 7-2 blowout.
It's the perfect drink for road trips, game nights, or when your team gives up 3 goals in 5 minutes and you just need something to help you calm down.
No fancy nonsense, no analytics, just a solid, dependable beverage. Basically the shutdown defenseman of soft drinks.
So next time you're at the grocery store, grab a Big 8. Support local, drink cold, and argue about hockey like an adult.
Big 8 Beverages, proudly Atlantic Canadian, and proudly riding shotgun for the Bush League Hockey Podcast.
Now let's do that hockey.
Well, that's a great segue because we have Mr. Jordan Staal back in the Stanley Cup Final again from Carolina. He was last in the Cup Final in 2009 when he won. So you mentioned it's hard to win. Prime of his career, now 17 years later, he has made it back again for the first time since then as ole, 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 ole. The Hurricanes have eliminated the Habs in 5. I don't know if I can speak objectively on this series, but I'm a very happy person. The powers that control the NHL could have done something very funny and had me either cheer for Mitch Marner and the Vegas Golden Knights or the Montreal Canadiens. Thankfully, an out was provided by the Carolina Hurricanes. So,
Yeah.
that was a series that Habs fans will tell you was closer than it was, but the eye test shows that it was not a close series at all. Outside of maybe the first 20 minutes of game 1 where the Habs jumped them, they were not in the series after that.
I would argue too, even if you didn't watch now, like I caught most of them while we were away, and then I watched, the last where they were eliminated. Even if
I'm just going to jump in here. Being in Montreal while that series was going on must have been a little interesting. Like, I know you're at the Grand Prix and the team was on the road, but like, I bet you there was a bunch of Habs jerseys around.
We were at the race, but we were also at a Habs game. There was, like, in the stands in front of us, there was Jack-Eye jerseys and Suzuki jerseys and Caulfield, and then old Koivu, like old players, and people had flags up on the grandstands, like Habs flags flying. So Tyson had a great idea. So at the race, there's a fan cam. You scan the QR code and you go on the fan cam. I scanned it, and he had his phone up of the previous game score, which is when the Hurricanes won in overtime. So we had the 3-2 Hurricane score, and I just had my phone looking at it, but they never put it up.
Oh, yeah, they probably filtered that. They were like, we can't do that. We'll start a riot in the stands. But you could have shown like a Leafs hat if he had one around, or like a Leafs thing, or a Bush League Hockey Podcast could have been great promotion.
That would have been good promo. That would have been. But there was Olay chants breaking out on the Metro. Like,
there were in Carolina as well at Game 5. I don't think for the same reason though.
That's right. It was very funny. But yeah, I'll give I just recap. Do you want to give your thoughts on? You just like you said, it looked. Habs fans will tell you it was close. It really wasn't. I mean, maybe in terms of score, it was at points, but yeah, pretty much a Carolina beatdown.
Yeah, you can look at it like Carolina came off the longest rest since like 1919 or something stupid like that between series. They had like 11 days off.
Yeah.
And it showed in game one. The Habs jumped all over them and lit them up for that. Mainly in the first period. It cooled off after one. Carolina found their legs, but Montreal still won the game. And then Carolina went on to run the table at that point. A couple games were close. A couple games went to overtime. And I have some Habs family members, some Habs fans as family members, I should say. Not actual Habs. That would be kind of crazy.
Habs family members.
Yeah. I still don't like them. Imagine that.
Still can't do it, guys.
Still can't do it, boys. Yeah. And they were like, we were just like a shot away. And you know what? By the definition of the saying, you're right. You were a shot away from winning a game. The problem is you never got the shot. Like any shots, not even like high danger chances. It was an unbelievable defensive suffocation that the Canes like just laid on the Habs. Like I think in game 3, that game went to overtime, but the Habs went like 25 minutes from the middle of the third period through overtime without a shot on net. So, like, you're not going to win if you don't shoot. And a similar thing happened in game 4 when they went to overtime again, and they lost. But I think they had one shot in overtime in that game.
Yeah.
And then in game 5, the elimination game, they went down early. It wasn't a close game. It was out of reach from the beginning. But one thing I noted was the third period started, and it took the Habs 15 minutes to get their first shot. When they're losing in an elimination game. So like,
yes,
just they weren't close. I actually thought it was indicative of the entire series. The puck drop of game 5. The Sportsnet crew are talking up all about how like the Habs have got to stop the turnovers. They've got to stop giving the puck away. They've got to stop the icings. And off the opening face-off, the Habs win it back to Matheson, who attempts to dance someone at center ice coming at him, gets poke-checked away, and immediately gives up a 2-on-1 3 seconds into the game that, Dobish has to make a big save on.
Big save right away.
Guys, like, this is an elimination game. This is the Eastern Conference Finals. You just, in the game before, maybe 2 games before, sorry, they had more icings than shots on net in the game. They had 15 icings and 12 shots.
Yeah.
That's not a good look.
No.
Martin St. Louis is definitely not preaching your defenseman to try to dance somebody at center ice off the opening face-off. You got to weather the storm kind of thing.
It looked like Hockey Night in Canada on a Saturday in like November.
Right. Exactly. And anyway, I was just like, well, they're done at that point. And sure enough, Carolina jumped them pretty early. I didn't score on that rush, of course, but they did put a few in. There were some highlights from that series, in my opinion, from the run in general. Like I told a family member who is a Habs fan today, like if that was my team, if the Leafs went to the conference final and got eliminated in 5, it would sting. But overall, I'd look back positive on the season. Like, you know what I mean? Like, only 4 teams make the conference final. Only 2 make the cup final.
Yes.
Yeah, it's cup or bust is what you say, but the Habs were the youngest team in the playoffs. Oh, yeah. This is a great learning experience for them. They'll be better the next time. I am still scared. Their power play did nothing in this series, but I am scared to death of their power play for like the next decade. Like in the first 2 rounds, they were a dynamite. They moved the puck. They seem to be able to adapt to formation changes on the defensive side.
Yep.
And they are going to just get more scary. They now seem to have a number 1 goalie in Dobish. He seems to have the great attitude. He's good at competing and fighting for the puck, I should say, not fighting. I don't know. Maybe he throws knuckles. I don't know. Well, maybe we'll see that next season.
Maybe we'll see.
I think there was some underperformers. Like I think perennial Big 8 player of the week, Cole Caulfield, had a bit of a rough playoff. And I don't want to make this about the Leafs because we make everything about the Leafs, but he reminded me of Marner in terms of when the playoffs come, it's too big for him. Now, Marner this year, whole different player. And we'll talk about that in our Cup Final preview. But Marner with Toronto disappeared. That was his biggest criticism. He would stop driving the net. He would stop taking shots. He would always stay away from the traffic, try to dipsy doodle, try to do whatever. Now, Caulfield took some hits. He wasn't as afraid to go in the corners, I don't think, but he didn't attack as much as I thought he would have. He very rarely had like open looks to let that lethal shot go. So a learning experience for him, hopefully. I really hope that's just like a one-off. Like this is a learning experience thing for him and he can move on. Yes. I don't want him to be with the struggles because he's too good of a shot to do that. Like, I don't like the Habs, but like the players they got some stars. For sure. I was pretty wholly disappointed in Suzuki. He seemed to disappear. And what's interesting is I think I might have told you this or somebody this, but when Suzuki was in the Four Nations team, I thought I was disappointed in him. But the Olympics, I thought he had a good Olympics. But maybe I'm misremembering that. Maybe I got that flip-flopped. But I thought in this series, particularly, he wasn't much of a factor. And they probably needed him to be as the captain of the team. Yep. I think they probably could have done some more line shuffling. Gallagher getting in for a game might have provided the spark on home ice for one of those that they probably could have used. Yeah, he's aged. He's not as pesty as he used to be. But he came in the other series, 7 minutes, scored a goal, like put him on in a home game, play him 7 minutes, 8 minutes. Just for the spirit lift, right? Like get the bench alive. Yep. That's what he does. And I thought Matheson was wholly awful. I'm just going to say that. I don't think I'm going to get a lot of disagreement from Habs fans I've talked to. A lot of them are pretty upset with how his play was. So I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but it seemed like he had a rough series. Yep. Biggest name by far I've heard from Habs fans. Yeah. that they're upset about. Matheson. Yep. And of course, like I said, he was the guy that tried to dangle a guy in the elimination game and gave up immediate 2-on-1. Yeah, exactly. You're not helping your case here. Like, and he's like a first pair defenseman. He plays with Dobson, right? It's like, man, can't be doing that with those matchups and the minutes you're playing. Yeah. But I think they had some good performances. Like it's not all negative. Like look at what Newhook did in the playoffs. Just gonna say, like, I mean, it's not his first go around. He's not like some rookie coming in here. He's got some experience, but he performed probably above. Well, not probably. He performed above expectations for what he definitely is. He provided a good spark. Obviously, the goalie Dobish, I already mentioned that he was a nice turnaround. So they got him and like Fowler for the future, and I think they'll be okay. Yep. Which is bad news for me. Bad news for another Atlantic Division catch up team. We need the Leafs to catch up for sure. Yeah, but that's not to take away anything from Carolina. Like Rod the Bod, man, he has got that team a well-oiled machine. So Game 5 was the Carolina Hurricanes' 100th playoff victory in their franchise. Rod Brind'Amour has been involved in 98 of them. 98, yeah. Either as a player or the coach. Yep. So that team lives and dies with Rod. I'm not convinced he couldn't play today. I feel like he could. Dude, you hear the stories from practices and workout sessions where he shows how to do stuff to the players. Yeah. And if they're not doing it well enough, he jumps on like the bike or whatever and shows them. And just does it. This is how you should do it. Just insane. Like there's no doubt he could lace them up and probably be competitive. Like absolutely. I mean, I'm sure his foot speed isn't what it used to be, but like he could give you 7 or 8 minutes on a fourth line, probably be just fine. He could. Yeah. Be the hardest guy you played against all night. Could you imagine? Anyway, so Carolina, I mean, I am so happy. I said this earlier in the postseason too. I'm so happy for Freddie Anderson. I was a huge Anderson fan when he was in Toronto. I thought he got the short end of the stick when he got blamed for everything. He was the whipping boy and then drove out of town. And then he kind of struggled to find his footing through like Detroit and stuff. But man, I am so happy for him. It could he was I can't get over it. It's so happy. And then Jordan Stahl, I mentioned earlier, like 17 years between cup appearances. The last time he was in the final, he won back in 2009.
Yep.
So just these crazy stats.
Yeah.
We got the stank going all over the place. He is just like, he had a little quieter conference final, but his first two rounds were fantastic. But just the way they played, they were so suffocating. Like there was no room out there for the Habs. Like there was times when a defenseman would have the puck behind the net. Nobody's in the zone. Standard breakout, like line change breakout, just slow it down and whatever. And the Habs would not get out of the zone. Like it's, you're in full control of the situation. You've got wingers peeling back, circling back. You've got the center coming down low to get the puck. And just, it was man to man all day long in the offensive zone for the Canes, or the defensive zone for the Habs. And then when the Habs happened to be in the Carolina zone, it was almost like man-to-man overload for them. So they would always give up somebody. There was always an uncovered Habs somewhere, but it also meant that the puck carrier was being collapsed on by multiple people.
Multiple players.
And they would block the lane. So like the Habs couldn't do anything with it. Like the guy either had the puck and took a hit.
No time.
Or he had the puck and he just like dumped it around the boards to somebody. And it was just, and then they would overload that side. And then it would go to the other side and they'd overload. Like it was masterclass in defensive zone strategies where again, one game, the Habs had more icing calls than they had shots on net, which means you're forcing them to just emergency escape the zone.
Yeah.
It was incredible. It was unbelievable to watch.
It's also like amazing. Like, I feel like we've been saying that about Carolina for years.
Yep.
Like, I just find it impressive that Rod Bednar has kept the reputation of that team to that standard and level. Now, this year, I think they're doing it like even better. But like, that's one thing you think about with the Hurricanes. Like some teams have identities. I mean, if you talk about the strongest possible identity of a team, I feel like Carolina is like right at the top because everyone knows that's how they play.
Yep.
So,
well, there used to be the cardiac kids or the cardiac Canes back in the day because they've never been a high scoring team.
Yes.
They wouldn't give up a lot, but then they'd get that one at the end to like put them over the top and win. And you saw it here. Like, game 5 was, for all intents and purposes, a blowout. Like, the score ran up with empty nets at the end, but like, essentially it was like a 3-0 game midway through the game. And that would have been considered a high scoring Carolina Hurricanes playoff game. Like they're not ever up.
They're
3
not
goals.
a blowout team. They're not a, like all those overtime games. Yeah. That makes sense to me.
That's the Carolina game. It's score enough to win, but don't let any in. Like don't let anything through.
Yeah. They shoot from everywhere. And we'll get into how this is going to go in the Stanley Cup Final preview, I guess. But they shoot from everywhere. They always outshoot everybody. They always out-attempt everybody. It's just fast. There's no time to think, like you said. And when they have the puck in the offensive zone, it's just going towards the net. It's just all the time. And it totally overwhelmed Montreal. But I mean, you summed it up very well. I would just say that. Yeah, you're welcome. I would say that in terms of Montreal, the only thing to add is that I talked to several Habs fans. Most of them were honestly pretty reasonable about it. They were, they were like, because I said the same. Like I said, I remember when the Avalanche core were kind of coming together and they had that, Rantanen, MacKinnon, Landeskog line in 2018-19, and it was finally coming together, and they were the young team, and then they started making the playoffs, and then they start winning around here or there, and when the core is just starting like that, and there's no expectations, it's the best time to be a fan. It's nothing but optimism,
and who cares if they fail? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's all positive, right?
Yeah. So the Habs they're on their way. I mean, they're already doing this. So
I'm scared as an Atlantic Conference or Atlantic Division team. I mean, I'm afraid of what they will be for the next 5 years or so. A small correction. I mentioned overtime being in game 3 and 4, but it was 2 and 3. Games 4 and 5 were kind of blowouts. I mean, game 4 was a 4-0 win for Carolina, and then a 6-1 win to eliminate. But
that's exactly. But before we get to the Stanley Cup Final preview, let's get thirsty here and
I am thirsty.
Yeah, think about the conference final, and we'll come up with our Big 8 player of the week.
Dave's a killer. Yeah, Dave's a killer.
I'm on my last Big 8 of this set, so I took the display can I had.
Oh yeah.
So Big 8, if you could get in touch, I'd love another delivery, please.
Yeah. Let's go.
Well,
go Big 8.
Since it's been a couple weeks since we recorded, what do you think about a Big 8 player of the series?
Yeah, I was just about to say. Yeah,
because not a lot of hockey has happened this week.
No, exactly. The problem with these when there gets to be less and less teams, it gets harder and harder to be more individual. So I had, I guess, 2. One of them we already did, and we already
it can't
made
be
all
Cole Caulfield. Okay, where's Gary? Are you here, Gary?
Gary threatened me with an inch of my life that to say Cole Caulfield. I'll just rip the Band-Aid off on the West. I'm gonna go with Marner again as a nomination, and in the East, my pick was K'Andre Miller. A little different, maybe a little off the beat path, but I thought he was has had an incredible playoffs for the Canes. We always talk about Jacob Slavin. I think K'Andre Miller is kind of becoming the type of defenseman that New York wished he would have became before they got rid of him.
That's gonna hurt for their fans watching the series he just had. Oh,
definitely. He's leading the team in points, the defenseman in points, and a lot of smart plays. Just consistently good. He just stood out to me as kind of like a, like they have a suffocating defense, and it's not just Slavin. I thought he kind of set himself apart too.
Well, I can't give it to Marner, so I'm gonna not go with you on that one. But,
all right,
I will give it to Miller with notable addition to the entire defensive core in Carolina because the group effort was insane.
Yes.
But K'Andre, why couldn't you do that in a Rangers uniform?
Yeah.
But congratulations on the Big 8 player of the series. Yeah. Have your people call our people.
That's right.
Jeremy, get us some people.
Yeah. Oh yes, we have lots of people that we
top
behind the scenes.
People. Got top people working on it. All right. Well,
and then there were 2.
Here. We're here. We're finally here. It is Sunday night when we're recording this on the 31st. Like Jeremy mentioned earlier, the Cup Final begins on Tuesday, the 2nd of June. Let's hear your thoughts.
Oh, I got to go first,
right. Hey, I finished the last series, so we're just going back and forth. It's all you.
Fair enough.
First of all, will there be any shots on net for anybody in this series?
For anybody? Yeah.
Because we didn't talk about Vegas in the Colorado retrospective, but they played a pretty similar game to Carolina in that there was very little chances against, high danger chances against.
Yeah, and I feel like they did it. They do it in different ways. Like I feel like the 2 schools of thought, when you kind of look at it like high level, like to me, Carolina, their attitude is our best defense, and this is similar to the way that Colorado likes to try to play, is they don't, their best defense is to not allow you time to do anything. it's not necessarily playing the defense. It's like the whole point is to, like you said, like get a 2-on-1, get a little mini 2-on-1 wherever that needs to move around in a zone. They're trying to get the puck back as fast as possible. That's the defense, is like trying to get it back. And I feel like Carolina plays like that. They play like that, like you said, and it looks suffocating when you're executing that stuff. It's suffocating. There's no time. Vegas is very good at not in a defensively in a totally different way. They're kind of that box out, like that style that won Tampa Bay 2 Stanley Cups, like that box out style, block everything. We're okay to not have the puck for a while. But when we do have it, there's a stretch pass. I don't know how many stretch passes I saw that I thought tactically that really broke the Avs. Because the Avs defense is they're so good at gapping and cutting off. Like they're very good at breaking up neutral zone, passes and stuff like that. But when Vegas would get the puck, it was like they'd have a forward up the ice. F1 was up there already between the defensemen. So the defensemen are in full-on panic mode from the transition. And I just felt like that was such a smart way to break that type of defense down. And I think what we're going to see, this is what I think what the series is going to look like. I think Carolina will have the puck more of the time. And I think Vegas will kind of withstand it. And then they're going to look for a quick up, and they're going to take advantage of the aggressiveness, and they're going to spring some plays. They're going to make some plays happen off of a rush. And I think they're going to try to catch Carolina that way. And I think they're going to be okay with giving up shot attempts. I think the shots will go towards Carolina like they always do, but they're going to box them out and try to keep them out of the middle of the ice. And they know that Carolina is going to shoot it from everywhere because that's what they do. And I think they're going to say, "Yep, we're good. As long as we're doing what we can." So Carter Hart knows. He knows the shot's coming from here. If it's going to be a pass, we're going to take the options away, so it's super predictable. And that's what I found. He was in position all the time. The way that Vegas defended, he trusted his defenders to take away what they needed to. He was square to the shooter all the time. And I think for that reason, I think it's going to be Carolina's toughest test by a lot. I think they're going to, that thing we normally see happen to them that in the conference final, I don't think they played a team like that yet this playoffs. I think they're going to see it in the final now.
Well, I think Montreal tried to stretch them out in the neutral zone, and then they failed a lot. And then their wingers would never blow the zone to kind of stretch out, like get out high, get out to the center, make the Carolina defense back up, and then airmail them a pass.
Right.
That never really happened because all 5 Habs were just contained in the zone because they kind of got nervous. You know what I mean? I think so. Yeah. I think if Vegas executes that a couple times, I think you're absolutely right. Carolina's going to have to respect that, back off, like they did against the Avs, like spring them on the high flipper out of the zone.
Yeah.
But if Carolina could shut that down early, I think you might lose some confidence in that play, right? And then you've got them kind of contained a bit, just like they did to the Habs.
Exactly, and that's how you counter it. I mean, that's what, when the Avs are going, that's what everyone says about the forecheck. It's like they don't even let you break it out. But if they can break it out, and that's the thing, like you're talking about center depth now and forward depth that Carolina hasn't seen yet. It's like they've got 3 lines that can do that consistently, can do it well. Mark Stone is back. And
when he came back for game 4 against the Avs or whatever it was, I was like, well, that's he's probably going to score, and that's going to be the series.
Yeah. and that guy, man, like he has 0 foot speed.
Nope.
And
but he's somehow open all of the time.
I know. I just think he plays in such a way that he lulls guys into thinking that they don't have to do anything about him. And he finds space. It almost reminds me of that. I think it was a Four Nations goal. It was one of the first games, and everyone chased MacKinnon and Crosby into the corner, and he was like, all right. And he just skated down the slot, and pass went to him, and he scored. And it's like, no one's worried about him. So,
well, he only plays half the game. So, I mean, they kind of forget that he exists. So
that's right. That's right.
The Habs were like the number one shot blocking team of the playoffs in the conference final, even though it only went 5 games. I think we're about to see that change hands in the cup final. I think Torts' Knights are going to block because Carolina, like you said, shoots literally from everywhere.
Yeah.
And the Habs were outshot every game by a huge margin, and they blocked like record-setting numbers of shots.
Yes.
And Vegas, I think, is going to pass them because Vegas will block even more.
That's right. Exactly right. So I think it's interesting. It's kind of like, I think this is a typical kind of way. Like there's certain ways that I guess teams play. I mean, the way that Vegas plays, the way that Carolina plays, there's nothing really new here. I am just like, I hate predictions. I don't want to give predictions. I'm only gonna say based on previous history. I think when Carolina has faced a team like this, that plays like this is when their strategy's fallen apart in the past. Now, they're playing their game better than they ever have, so maybe this is the year. But if I just go on history alone, my prediction is Vegas withstands it.
Thank you.
And they
carry on.
I think Vegas withstands it, and they find a way to win it again. Sadly, for me, and sadly for Leafs fans. Sorry.
Third cup final in their 9 years of existence.
Yeah.
Put that in perspective. The Leafs drafted Matthews 10 years ago, and they've been to the second round twice. Third cup final for the expansion Knights. Obviously, that would be their second win if they were to pull it off. I love how after they won the first one in 6 years in, right? They won the actual cup. Like they made the cup final the first year, obviously. But
yes.
They won 6 years in. The owner's like, man, it took us forever to get this far. And I was like, you jerk.
Jerk.
What are you even talking about?
In all our franchise's history.
Long and storied.
Yeah.
Made the cup final in our first expansion year. And shucks, we didn't win for another 5.
Man, and it's just wild. Like they're just that team everybody loves to hate. If you like villains.
Well, they're all cast-offs. Like they're all the misfits. Like they were originally, like you talked about William Karlsson coming back, the original misfit.
The original
thing.
Yes.
Then you got Jack Eichel, who like is a misfit from Buffalo when they wouldn't give him his surgery. And look at what he's doing. You have Marner, the cast-off. You have Carter Hart, the cast-off. You have John Tortorella, the cast-off.
Yeah.
Like it's just the list goes on and on and on. That all these players find resurgence. Look at Hertl, you mentioned. Like Hertl was a great San Jose Shark. And it looked like his time was up. Like it's just father time catches up with you. And then he goes to Vegas and he's a different player. It's like, what is in the water there?
What is going on?
I don't know. Maybe they have inspirational quotes about how terrible you all were, like in past lives or something. And it like fires them up to be the misfits. Like, I don't know. Maybe when Marner came in, they had billboard material of all the things the media in Toronto said badly about him. And he's like, yeah, let's go. Like just something is happening in that city where washed up, sometimes older, or just cast off players find resurgence. Now, I fist bumped and said, when you picked Vegas, because I'm not picking Vegas. I'm picking Carolina, and I didn't want us both to be on the same page.
Yes. Perfect.
I'm picking it for the story. I would much rather Carolina win.
Sure.
17 years between cup final appearances for that team, along with Jordan Staal, as I mentioned. You know, I'd love for him to get another one. He's been he's given everything for that team to stick around through some of the down years, the up years. I mean, Rod is amazing. Freddie Anderson, I'm so happy for.
Yeah,
Slavin and Stankoven. So I just think it's more for the story than it is for the team. And if Marner wins and wins the Conn Smythe, like I just can't. I can't do it.
The summer will be crazy.
I can't. I can't.
Well,
So-
I'll throw another one just to just to add to what you're saying.
Yep.
In what I think would be funny.
No.
Sorry,
I was letting my dog in the room.
I was gonna say that
he wants to be part of the hockey pod.
I think the funniest thing ever.
No.
I'll even say it. No, it's not what you think.
Okay.
This is twisting the knife at my own back. So a couple years ago, Rantanen is traded to Carolina, right?
Yep.
They trade him to Dallas. Natchez isn't. We're talking about Natchez. We're talking about Rantanen. We're talking about those two. The guy that went to Carolina in that trade was Logan Stankoven. And if he's the one that wins the first Stanley Cup out of this big trade, I just think it's going to be funny. I'll even laugh at it.
Also, I didn't even mention Jarvis and all this, and like his fans he's got that come down and like follow him over the Olympics only to be disappointed and stuff. Like, just man, there's so much. So much hype around Carolina.
He's an actual personality,
and I don't hate them. So I'm gonna say they're gonna win. I think it'll be a longer series. I think we're probably looking at 6 or 7 games.
I think so, and I think there's a handful of overtimes in there. I would assume.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, yeah.
So
I don't think we're looking at a sweep here, Gary. So you should be happy with that. But we are at the dark days of the hockey season when there's one game now, and they take extended breaks during the Cup final because there's like media days set out and stuff. So every city changes an extra day now, and like we've waited a few days to get going here. The weather's nice outside. It's not so much now, but where we are, it's kind of terrible weather. But it's kind of like, okay, let's get this over with. Let's get this going.
Yeah, I'm curious if Matthew Schaefer got the Calder on Good Morning America. Maybe like they'll give out the Hart Trophy on like, I don't know,
American Idol. I don't know. Is that
American Idol? Yeah.
I have no idea. Is that still a show going on?
I don't know, but that's a perfect show to imagine the NHL thinking like, let's be hip and modern with the times, and we'll give it out on American Idol.
Yeah, well, you got to find a non-political show, right? You don't want to be partisan here, so
that's right. So, well, we've got one Vegas, we got one Carolina for predictions. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I am looking forward to this. Actually, I'm looking forward to the games. I think they're going to be fun to watch. So,
I got another prediction request for you.
Oh boy.
Is Tortorella the coach of Vegas starting game 1 of next season? Or is Bruce Cassidy back as the head coach? Or does he come back with 10 games left in the regular season when they fire Torts and then bring back Cassidy because he's still under contract?
Maybe Torts is gone now and Cassidy coaches the Stanley Cup Final.
Could you imagine? You know what, man? You don't have a contract anyway. Just why don't you go up to the press box? We're bringing Bruce back.
Like, I think like even if they lose, I mathematically
this is a resounding success. Like, how do you look at it any other way, right? Like,
right. And I think
they were outside the playoffs and they won every remaining game, and then now are in the Cup final.
Yeah. And I think like they could even go next season and have like another kind of mediocre season with Tortorella, but I think you do it for the playoffs. I mean, obviously there's a connection there with them and him, and I think you got to run that back at this point, right? Like, I think you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Vegas and Carolina are the 2 teams left in the final, but they are not the only teams in the league. What is going on around the league outside of the playoffs right now? There's a lot of coaching vacancies. There's some GM vacancies. What's the deal with management? Sorry, that was my terrible Seinfeld.
What's the deal? Yeah. So, I'm assuming we're talking about Chris McFarland's the name that's been around in terms of general managers last rumors.
Yeah, why don't you guys like your management team?
Everyone's known that it's known that everyone hates hates Chris McFarland in Colorado. No, not true. I was surprised at the timing of that rumor.
What a weird time.
I don't understand why. Like,
why would Nashville ask?
Yeah,
I don't
that
get
series
it.
Started the way it did, and then I'm reading like Chris McFarland to Nashville, and I'm like, now
why?
We're talking about this now. So yeah, thing with rumors and Colorado, I feel like too, if you listen to 32 Thoughts a lot, like Elliot doesn't really say much about Colorado. It's not because I don't think it's any bias thing or whatever. I think he just doesn't get a whole lot. And when he does have stuff about them, it tends to be because of another team that he has sources from that are in discussions with them that can say, here's what we're talking to them about.
So it's a pretty tight ship then in Colorado.
Yeah, and that's a Joe Sakic thing, and that goes back to Pierre Lacroix. Joe Sakic's been on record as saying it, that they don't volunteer anything. They keep a closed circle, and that's the way
somehow
he
it gets back to Lou Lamoriello somehow. Like
somehow.
That.
Yeah, somehow.
Joe Sakic read Lou's book or something. I don't know if Lou has a book.
It's very much, it's not as extreme, but it's of that, like, anyway. So I don't even fully understand where that came out from, where that all came. Maybe you've seen some reports, but no. So
I was just shocked. I was like I get teams asking for Cassidy interviews when he's like not actively with the team, but like McFarland is like, his team is still playing in the conference finals.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Important games. So the backstory, because no one knows about him. Some people still think that it's Joe Sakic's the GM, but he was the assistant GM for 6-7 years, or
and other teams tried to poach him back then, right?
Exactly. So to stop that, because the front office in Colorado loved him, Sakic basically promoted himself and then left the GM position open to McFarland so that he wouldn't go anywhere. And that's why that transition happened. And I think it's been going pretty well. I thought it was going pretty well, but I think he's one of those guys that, there's just like, they talk about well-respected, people that everybody, when there's a chance, they're going to go for. And given Nashville's position with the way things have gone with Barry Trotz, apparently it's leaked through somewhere that they're going after Chris McFarland pretty hard, but not to be GM, to be president of hockey operations. So the reason it's, I think, it's notable is because it would come with a pretty big pay raise, and he'd have even more team control in that role. So,
well, yeah, if he was an AGM and he wanted to get to the GM, so Sakic promoted him, and now teams are looking at him for the next step.
Yeah.
Like, is Sakic going to promote him again, or is it finally time that maybe he just says, okay, you can't get that here, right?
Yeah,
and we're not going to stand in your way, right? Like,
I think that's why there hasn't been a season-ending press conference yet, because I think they're in the middle of having those discussions. Like, they're talking to him. Like, is this something you want to do? Like, is there anything we can do to make you want to stay here? And they're doing all that stuff right now, I'm guessing. So I don't know. It would suck. It would suck to lose him. I really like a lot of trades that he makes. I like his mentality. I like how he tries to build a team. He makes I feel like they've made a lot of smart cap moves. They did their best through the flat cap years. They were going to lose guys. I mean, everybody did, but he's big on trying to target players that that are a good value, that they can come to Colorado and kind of play a punch above their weight and that kind of stuff. And I like a lot of moves he makes, and he's up for GM of the year this year. So,
way to go out on top, and then you're no longer a GM. Like, move on, move up.
Yeah.
I won the award on my way out the door.
Yeah. So I'd like to see him stay and navigate the Avs through whatever that just was.
Whatever this is.
Yeah, whatever is happening right now. I would like him to do it. So,
Well, there's not a lot going on in the Toronto front. It came out today that David Carl, your amateur head coach of your farm team, reportedly had a conversation. It was pleasant, but he informed the Leafs that it's not the time for him to try to make that move. And so he doesn't want to be considered for the head coaching job in Toronto. And so we continue to wait. It seems like we have no irons in the fire at this point. Like Elliot says they're casting a wide net, but everybody you hear says no. So like apparently we haven't asked for Cassidy permission. Woodcroft was rumored, but then was debunked as not being asked. Carl is not around. So what are you doing? Like John Chayka, like, come on, man.
It almost feels to me like I feel like the Cassidy thing is going to hold everything up. I feel like until
Potentially.
I just feels to me like until he figures out where he's going, I think it'll kind of start the domino chain. I think
he must really not be on the Leafs radar. Like I thought he would be on the Leafs radar because he's coached skilled players. Like you got like Pasternak, like that he coached and was good on. You've got all the guys in Vegas who you got the skilled players, but he also created like heavy teams, right? Teams that played heavy.
Yeah.
That's a really dumb definition. I'm sorry. I just repeated myself. A heavy team, a team that plays heavy. Guys, it's an hour. It's Sunday night. I'm very tired now at this point. So I thought he'd be right up there. Like I thought before the season even ended, when he got let go, I thought, man, the Leafs are going to fire Berube like 9 games left in the season and go right after Cassidy.
Yeah.
But apparently they haven't even sought permission to talk to him. And one of the things the Vegas, like rumored with Vegas, is the DeBoer situation, how they kind of got screwed by letting him go and then getting beat by him in the playoffs. Which is why like LA and Edmonton haven't been allowed permission. Whether that's any truth to that or not, we'll never know unless they straight up say it.
Yeah.
But Toronto's not in the West. Like, we may beat them in the playoffs, but it would be a cup final appearance, which at that point, whatever, right? Like, you know what I mean? So I'm shocked they haven't asked for permission, but here we are on May 31st. The draft is in 26 days or something like that. The Maple Leafs Instagram posts a countdown every single day. 26 days till we draft first overall, 25 days till we draft first overall, which I think is hilarious. I brought it up before, but we missed the playoffs. We get Matthews first overall, make the playoffs 9 years in a row, miss the playoffs once, get the first overall pick.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
sorry.
It's hard to, the Leafs conspiracy stuff. It's like, well, if you're going to look at that, it's,
I mean, we purposefully tanked for Matthews back in the day. I remember there was all the tank chance and like, some fans said it, but like the team,
it was not on purpose.
The team wasn't that team from 2015. Like that was really bad. And somehow we made it. Anyway, a couple of interesting Leafs notes, if you can grant me a minute of that.
Sorry, just real quick. Can I just interrupt you real quick? Because I just want to clarify something. The news about Carl politely declining. I saw the reports, but did that come out today or was that like earlier?
The first time I've seen it reported was today, but apparently the meeting happened in the past.
Oh, okay.
So it's interesting because my head is on a roller coaster today. So like Jonas Siegel reported that that he had 3 predictions that was going to happen. Chris McFarland will end up in Nashville with a big promotion, which we've talked about here as a rumor. He posted this. He actually posted this yesterday, late evening. Second one, I was going to bring up now. Riley will be dealt to the San Jose Sharks.
Random.
Seemingly random. And 3, that the Leafs will name David Carl head coach. And he picked up on some of these things based on whatever reporting he has. He's pretty connected. He has a lot of scoops around the Leafs. And then our good buddy Frank Saravelli came out today on X and said Dave Carl's not coming to Toronto. That in the past, early in the process, they had conversations. So I don't know if that was like 2 weeks ago. And they had a nice chat, and then he politely declined it. And Frank is not known to have a great track record. And so I passed it off as, well, that just basically confirms that David Carl is the next coach of the Leafs.
He's going to be the
coach. he's right. But then Dave Pagnotta came out and basically was like, yeah, he confirms the story that the Leafs spoke to Dave Carl early and Carl told him that it's not the right time right now. So that seemed to all come out last evening / today, but it seems to have happened like early in the process. So whatever that means.
Right. That's what
probably
I was
a couple weeks ago.
Curious about, because I just wondered if that was Chayka was he really, really wanted to go for see if he could lure Carl first. And now I'm wondering if you're going to start.
Randy Carlyle's coming back.
Yeah, I know. That's who I had in my head.
Been there, done that. Got the t-shirt.
Yeah, that's what I know. Yeah, and I thought like, okay, so now is there going to be like, now we're going to start talking about Bruce Cassidy, or like,
I don't know, man.
Just
like,
seems weird that we don't even talk about it. Like, what happened? Like, what went on there? So,
I don't know. Anyway, so the second point was Morgan Rielly being traded. So Morgan Rielly has a full new move clause. He's the oldest tenured Leaf. I have a ton of respect for Rielly, but I'm not blind to the fact that the last couple seasons have been pretty rough for him in Toronto.
Right.
He's being put in top pair minutes, and he's just not a top minute defenseman at this point, whether it's the systems or the coach or he's just getting older. He's getting long in the tooth.
Yep.
And so he was over there playing with Team Canada at the World Championships, which what happened to our team the last two games? But that's a whole different podcast. We're already an hour 10 into this one, so we're not talking about that. But he played over there, and he wasn't fantastic, of course, but he was serviceable anyway. And during that event, there started to be whispers from different reporters that maybe he would be open to waiving his no trade clause. That maybe Leafs management would approach him this summer and explore trade options.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got Siegel coming out and basically saying he's going to San Jose. Now, that's just a shot in the dark. He also said David Carl in the same tweet is going to be the coach of the Leafs. And that was disproven pretty quick. So I wouldn't say that San Jose has any merit in that's his destination, but I think it's warming. The team and the player are warming up to the idea that it's probably time for a change in scenery. He might even see what's happening with Marner and be like, change in scenery might be good for me, right? Like, let's get out there and see what. And he wouldn't be the top pair defenseman. He wouldn't.
No,
be, right?
not.
Get him on a third pair. At best, get him on a second pair.
Yeah.
And I bet you'll see him do a lot better.
Yeah.
Because how many times did I watch him dig the puck out of the net this year with this dumbfounded look on his face? Like, how did this happen? It's like, because you didn't cover your guy, my guy. Like, it's your man that put the puck in the net. Like, what, you mean they skate by me? I'm not. They're allowed to do that. Anyway, the last Leafs note I want to hit on is I almost said Ty Domi, Max Domi. I don't know if you've been following this surgery situation he had.
I haven't seen other than it was a medical emergency. And
well, like a week or two ago, the Leafs put out a press release or like a post that said, Max Domi underwent off-season surgery for a problem that was nagging him all season. There were complications and he may not be ready for the start of the season. And that was it. So Steve Simmons is a Toronto Sun reporter who loves medical information on players, which I almost said maybe we should send him to Colorado and we will get the injury report as to what's going on. So you're welcome to borrow him for a couple weeks if you want. And we'll get to the bottom of that. Anyway, so it started coming out today that apparently Max did have like a chronic back issue or something with his back was going on all season. And he had the team doctors and specialists look at it, and then he had his own people look at it and decided to go with a treatment surgery that his own doctors wanted to recommend. Now, if you remember, we talked about Jack Eichel earlier and being a cast-off from Buffalo, very high-profile case where he wanted to do a treatment that the Sabres didn't want to consent to.
Didn't allow.
Because they considered it to be too risky for his career.
Yeah.
And so he demanded to be sent to Vegas. And one of Vegas's pitches was, you do your thing, man. We'll support you.
Man.
You do it. So he went there. since that happened, apparently a lot of teams are scared of that happening with their star players against. They've been more open to the idea of the player going the medical route of their own specialist as opposed to the team physicians.
Yeah.
That's the case in this situation. Apparently, Max Domi went with a treatment surgery or a treatment option not endorsed by the Leafs, but the Leafs allowed him to do it out of respect for him. It's his choice, whatever. Apparently, the surgery did not go well. And it was something back related was what it was operated on. And right from the get-go, they knew there was big complications like the surgery team or the surgical team, to the point where Max couldn't walk for days after the surgery. Now, that's got to be pretty scary when you're a professional athlete and you're getting surgery on your back and you're supposed to be able to walk after the surgery and you cannot.
Yeah. Oh.
So that's all the information that came out. We found out that it was about the situation with like a private set of physicians or Max's physicians. It was something related to his back, and that I think he's walking now, but he couldn't walk when the surgery was over for a few days. That's all we know so far. That's all that's leaked out. It's leaks. Take it for what it is. Maybe it's totally wrong, but it's been reported in a few locations today. Like more information is trickling out that this is kind of the area of concern. So I wish Max the best. Like, it's going to be scary. Like, there's life after hockey, guys. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like it's just like people with concussions and stuff. Like, the game is played fast, played hard. Fans are passionate. Fans, get on people's cases. I didn't really like Domi the last couple seasons. I don't want him to be injured to the point where he can't walk. Yes. You know what I mean? Like no, man, you got to take care of yourself.
Yes.
I was doing some research. I think the best course of action for him, because I mean, if the Maple Leafs can have their own physicians and Domi can have his own physicians, I can also have my own physicians who will consult on Domi's case. And I think there's like a magical aura pendant that you can get. I think John Tavares has one that if you wear it around your neck, it will bring healing to your body. So I'm going to get in touch with the company and see if we can get them sent a few. I think we'll be all good. They'll be ready for the start. Now I make joke, but I'm being dead serious. I hope he recoups to a good quality of life. I hope he can play hockey.
Plot twist: he already had it. Now he's mad at Tavares because it didn't do anything.
He actually does. He's in their promo video.
Oh, is he? Oh,
yeah. It's like even worse than Tavares is, who like wears it around his neck. Yeah. Domi has one that like sticks to the back of his iPhone, and he's like, "This is good enough. Like this heals me." Because he has to put his phone in his locker, and he's like, "But it's far away from me, but I can feel the healing power."
Oh,
it's like, man. My guy, like you.
Boy. Oh dear.
The check must have been some big. That's all I gotta say.
I imagine. Listen, how do you feel about putting your entire personal image that will stay with you for the rest of your life on the line?
On a sticker for an iPhone.
Yeah. What kind of number would you need for that to be? Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I wish him well, man. I mean, that's scary.
That's going to be scary, man. Like coming out of any surgery and being like, okay, we're done on your back. It went well. And it's like, I can't move. And you're like,
yeah. All right, now move your toes. And like, okay, anytime now. And he's like, and you're like,
I am.
Yeah.
No. So like usually, when a player undergoes a surgery, you get the team put out a thing being like, so-and-so underwent successful, shoulder surgery and is expected to miss 6 months or something like that. Leafs didn't do any of that, obviously. It was just after a while, we got he underwent surgery and it did not go well. So
yeah,
I hope the rumors are fake. I hope it shouldn't say rumors. I hope like the leaks are false and he's actually not that hard up or he's recovered since then. But man, I can't wait to hear that story when he finally wants to talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, and I wonder too, like, I mean, it's not that you were gonna rank like the value of people.
Marner's not here. He can't rank anybody.
Yeah. Have your make a list of all your teammates who deserve surgery, and we'll post it for everyone to. But like, I mean, like, it's a weird thing to say, but like, I mean, are the Leafs really going to be that protective? I mean, it's an asset. It's a player that they pay, but it's different if it's Domi versus Matthews. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness, yeah. Like when Matthews went to like Germany and stuff and got whatever he got done, it's like, what happens if that went bad?
Right. Like they might have had more of a conversation about that. And I hate to say that. It's not, you know what I mean? It sounds like a weird thing to say. It's like you're not like, but yeah, I'm sure they were just kind of like, yeah, well, okay, well, you do what you need to do. And it was probably a fairly easy conversation. But anyway. Well, Matt, we've said a lot.
We have.
We've said a lot, and we've tried to fill in for the boys who aren't here. I think we should have a full lineup next week. Maybe. We'll see.
3 games into the Cup Final. Tuesday.
I was just looking
Thursday.
At that. So, we'll come back next week. We'll talk about how the Stanley Cup Final is looking, and hopefully we'll have all the boys back. But till then, thank you, Big 8, and keep your stick on the ice.
See you later.